I've never been the type to make a scene, especially not in public. My wife Claire used to say she admired that about me, how calm I stayed no matter what. But calm doesn't mean unfeeling. It means I process things quietly, and when I decide something, it's final. We'd been married 11 years. I worked as an IT consultant, mostly from home, while she climbed the marketing ladder at her firm. Claire had always been the social one. She loved events, late meetings, happy hours. I didn't mind. I trusted her. We were adults, after all. 2 weeks ago, her company hosted an annual holiday party at a downtown hotel. Spouses were invited, though most of the partners never showed. Claire asked me to come, but in that half-hearted way that said she didn't actually want me there. Still, I went, because I believed showing up mattered. I remember walking into the ballroom, lights dimmed, music soft, people laughing in clusters. Claire was surrounded by colleagues, a glass of champagne in hand, glowing under the warm light like she belonged in that world. She saw me and waved, but something in her eyes flickered. An irritation, maybe disappointment. "Ethan, you made it," she said, kissing my cheek. "This is my husband, everyone. The quiet genius who keeps our Wi-Fi alive." Laughter followed. I smiled politely. Then came the jokes. Small at first, harmless maybe, but they added up. Someone asked about home projects, and Claire said, "Oh, Ethan? He's more into spreadsheets than screwdrivers." Another round of laughter. I tried to let it slide. Later, during toasts, she made one of her own. "To all the hardworking women who manage careers and families," she said, "and to the husbands who try not to burn down the kitchen when we're not around." Everyone laughed again. I forced a grin. But when her coworker joked, "So, Claire's the boss at home too, huh?" And she smirked, replying, "Well, someone has to be." I felt something twist inside me. It wasn't anger. It was the quiet realization that I'd become a punchline in her world. I stayed polite. I mingled, drank one beer, made small talk with her manager, and left early, saying I had an early morning meeting. She didn't protest. When she came home later, she was tipsy and cheerful. "Don't be so serious," she said, laughing when I stayed silent. "It was just fun, Ethan. You're too sensitive sometimes." I nodded. "Maybe," I said. But inside, I knew something had shifted. The next morning, I woke before her. I made coffee, checked my emails, and opened my phone. Overnight, I'd received a message from an old college friend who worked in finance. His firm happened to handle Claire's company's social media contracts. The message was short. "Hey man, you should check LinkedIn. Your wife's trending for the wrong reasons." My stomach tightened. I opened the app and saw a clip. Someone had filmed part of the party. In the video, Claire was laughing, tipsy, joking into a microphone. She was mocking me, doing an impression, my quiet tone, my boring hobbies, my habit of checking emails late at night. The caption read, "Marketing queen roasts her husband, too real." It had already hit several thousand views. The comments were merciless. "She's definitely checked out of that marriage. Imagine being married to someone you publicly humiliate." "This woman screams red flag." My hands didn't shake. I just sat there reading every comment one after another. Each one peeled back a layer of denial I didn't know I still had. Claire wasn't just joking that night. She was signaling to her world that I didn't matter, that I was something to be laughed at. She woke up around 8, groaning, reaching for water. "Oh, my head," she muttered. I looked at her quietly. "You should probably check your LinkedIn." She blinked, confused. "Why?" "You're trending," I said. She laughed at first until she saw the screen. Then her face drained of color. "Oh my God, who posted this?" I shrugged. "Does it matter?" She stared, panic rising. "Ethan, this is being taken out of context." "I didn't mean it like that." I didn't reply. I poured another cup of coffee and walked to the window, listening to her frantic typing, the sound of her career unraveling in real time. By noon, her manager had called. She locked herself in the bedroom to talk, her voice trembling. Words like unprofessional, brand image, and suspension floated through the door. When she emerged, her eyes were red. "They're putting me on leave," she whispered. "Just until things cool down." I nodded slowly. "I see." She looked at me, searching for sympathy. "Ethan, please say something." I met her gaze calmly. "I am saying something," I replied. Just not with words. The next few days felt oddly quiet. Claire tried to act normal. She cooked, cleaned, even asked if I wanted to watch something together in the evening. But everything felt rehearsed, desperate, like she was performing normalcy to convince herself nothing had changed. By the third day, the video had crossed 100,000 views. Someone had even clipped a shorter version and posted it to TikTok with the caption, "When you roast your husband and lose your job." The comments were worse now. Screenshots, memes, endless jokes at her expense. Her phone didn't stop buzzing. Calls from HR, messages from colleagues who felt bad, and a few texts from friends saying, "You'll bounce back." But I could see the fear in her eyes every time she scrolled. Reputation meant everything to her. And suddenly she was the one everyone whispered about. I didn't gloat. I didn't raise my voice. I just stayed calm, worked from my home office, and let silence do what words never could. One evening she came in, eyes red and puffy. "Ethan, please, can we talk?" I closed my laptop and nodded. She sat across from me, wringing her hands. "I know what I did was wrong. I wasn't thinking. It was supposed to be a joke. I thought people would laugh with me, not at you." I leaned back. "They didn't just laugh at me, Claire. They laughed at what you think of me." Tears welled up in her eyes. "That's not true. You know I love you." I studied her face. "You loved the version of me that stayed quiet. The one who let things slide. You turned my patience into your punchline." She started crying, saying she'd fix it, that she'd apologize publicly, that we could move past this. But something inside me had settled. The kind of peace that doesn't need revenge, just distance. That night, while she slept, I opened my email and typed a short message to a real estate agent a friend had recommended months ago. I asked to schedule a showing for a small townhouse across town. By morning, he'd replied with times. I didn't leave immediately. I just started moving quietly, sorting through papers, changing account passwords, backing up files. Each small action felt like reclaiming a piece of myself I'd loaned out too long. A week later, she came home from a meeting with her company's HR. They'd decided to terminate her contract. Image risk, they said. The severance was minimal. Her dream job, gone, just like that. She collapsed on the couch, staring blankly at the wall. "It's over," she whispered. "Everything I worked for." I looked at her, and for the first time I didn't feel anger or pity. I just felt done. "Maybe it's not the end," I said quietly. "Maybe it's just your turn to start over." She blinked, confused. "Our turn, you mean?" I shook my head. "No, Claire, yours." Her face froze. "You can't mean that." "I do," I said. "I won't live in a house where I'm the joke." She begged then, softly at first, then louder, desperate. She said she'd change, she'd go to therapy, she'd make a statement online to defend me. But the truth was, the apology wasn't for me anymore. It was for her image, her survival. I packed my things slowly, quietly. There were no dramatic scenes, no shouting. Just the sound of zippers and folded clothes. Before I left, she asked one last question. "Is this really it, Ethan?" I turned to her. "You wanted an audience that laughed at me," I said. "Now you have one that laughs at you. That's balance, I suppose." She flinched like I'd struck her, but I didn't stay to watch her reaction. I walked out, closed the door, and for the first time in years, the silence felt like freedom. I moved into the townhouse 2 days later. It wasn't much. Small living room, 1 bedroom, bare kitchen, but it felt honest. Peaceful. Sometimes I'd get calls from unknown numbers, messages I didn't open. Her friends, maybe, or her. I never replied. A few weeks passed. One morning, as I drank my coffee, I saw her name trending again online. This time, it wasn't about the joke. Someone had written an article titled, "When a Laugh Costs You Everything." It was sympathetic, portraying her as a victim of cancel culture. People debated whether she deserved it. I didn't comment. I didn't even read the full piece. I just scrolled past it. Because the truth was, her downfall wasn't the point. My piece was, I'd spent years thinking love meant endurance, staying calm, being understanding. But love without respect is just slow humiliation. And when you finally realize that, leaving isn't cruelty, it's clarity. The world had crumbled around her. Mine had just begun to rebuild. Total. 1,400 words complete. Would you like me to include a short, viral-style YouTube description, plus SEO keywords, plus tags, plus hashtags for this story, optimized like your competitor's channel uses?